what should you or anybody watching this believe in?
Okay, belief is a very interesting concept. I was thinking about it today, primarily because I was listening to a J. Cole song. And in that song, he was talking about his mom and how she believed in him. And so when I think of the question about belief, I don't think about religion, I don't think about politics, I don't think about any of those things. I think about two things when it comes to belief. Do you believe in yourself, and do you believe in someone else? That's it. So let's talk about the first one. Do you believe in yourself? The number one thing you should believe in is yourself. That's it. It's very simple. You should believe in yourself. And you may be saying, well, there's no reason for me to believe in myself. The reason is because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one is going to have a chance to believe in you. As cliche as that is, you've got to believe in something. And it might as well be yourself, because for you to manifest anything, for you to create anything, for you to do anything meaningful in this world, you've got to at least have the capability to believe in the ability for you to actually get it done. So you should believe in yourself. But as I was thinking about belief in the self and how important it is and how incredible it is when you actually feel like you can double down and take a bet on your capabilities and your ability to do things, I also realized how important it is if other people believe in you. And how special it is if other people believe in you. I mean, anyone who's watching or listening to this, I don't know if you've had the experience, but of someone just saying, hey, I believe in you. Like that in itself is a profound idea that someone else believes in you, especially if they genuinely mean it. And usually this comes from a family member, or it can come from someone random, but someone who looks at you and says, I believe you can do this. Like I genuinely believe you can go change the world. It gets me even emotional sometimes thinking about it, especially because I know my mom believes in me a lot. And it's an unwavering, unconditional belief. And what that does is when you get this unconditional belief from someone that you actually care about, from someone that you think matters in your life, is you start to suffocate all of the BS and the excuses that you would impose as a reason for why you're not trying your hardest to get something done. Because if someone you love deeply or you care about deeply, or even if you don't even love them or care about them, but you just have a great amount of respect for them, says that they believe in you, then you don't want to let them down. You want to try so unbelievably hard to go back to them and say, hey, you believed in me? I got it done. And I think that is one of the greatest sources of motivation for anyone who's struggling for motivation. First, you need to have someone who believes in you, and that's a separate issue, but if you can find that person that believes in you, if you can figure out who in the world actually cares about your ideas and your thoughts, and then you decide that, okay, because this person believes in me, I'm going to give them a reason to believe in me, because they have an unconditional belief in you. Now I'm really going to prove why that unconditional belief is justified. Then I think you try even harder. I think you go even harder. And it's really rooted in this fear. I mean, it's honestly a mental trick. It's this idea of constraints create creativity. So when you're constrained by something, for example, you don't have a lot of money, but you still need to get something done, how can you be creative to get it done? If you don't have a fancy camera or a fancy stand, can you stack up a bunch of books and put your phone on top of it and still get the angle that you want in order to get the thing done? It's like, how can you use the constraints that you have to build something more creative that establishes you to get to the next path? And I think it's the same thing with belief. If someone believes in you, you are now constrained within their belief, because they have said explicitly to you that they believe you can get the job done, which means you need to get you automatically get as creative as possible to figure out, how can I do everything in the fiber of my being to make sure this person doesn't lose their belief in me. Not because it would like fracture your relationship with them if they lose your belief in you, but because you yourself would just feel like absolute crap if someone believed in you and you didn't give them a reason to believe, if you proved them wrong in their beliefs in you. And I think the reason you feel like crap is because when someone says they believe in you and they genuinely mean it, it's a vulnerable thing for them. Because like anyone can wish you luck at something. Anyone can, say, hopefully you do a good job. For someone to put their belief in you, whether it's with money or whether it's with just their genuine friendship, that means they care. That means they care at a deeper level. And if they care at a deeper level enough to put their belief in you, then that also means that they have allowed a level of vulnerability into their life because now they could be wrong. And if they're wrong and they're seen as being wrong, then that ends up hurting them in a variety of different situations because their belief was misplaced.
Have you ever been backstabbed?
Ever been backstabbed? No, I don't think I've been backstabbed in a dramatic fashion, as in someone said something about me behind my back and they made me look bad or anything like that. The concept of backstabbing is interesting because I've been, it's kind of like if someone believes in you and if someone believes you're going to try really hard to do something and then you don't try really hard to do something, it's almost like backstabbing them to an extent, right? Because they really put their faith and belief in you and you kind of stab them in the back by not even going as hard as you could have gone to validate their beliefs. There's nothing wrong with failing. There is something wrong with really not trying as hard as you can before you get to that point where you have to admit you failed. So I don't think I've been backstabbed, but I really don't want to backstab, metaphorically, my people that believe in me, whether that's my mom or that's an investor, because it just feels like something I wouldn't be able to live with. I think the people that backstab other people, they're probably not able to live with it as easily because they know how hard it was. They know how crappy it feels. If I don't give 1,000% of my energy to this, there will be a lot of regrets of me feeling like I didn't actually try to validate the beliefs that other people had in me. And I think it's also this idea when someone says they believe in you, for you to feel an immense amount of gratitude because our attention is limited to a few things in our life. And for someone to give a itty bit of their attention and genuine attention to believe in your goals, your aspirations, your dreams, your potential, and to make you feel as if you have the ability to do it in a world in which most people could care less, that is something you don't want to let down, which means that is the greatest motivation, even greater than money in my opinion, to just get the job done, work as hard as possible, and prove it to people that you're someone to bet on. So you should believe in yourself, and you should find someone else to believe in as well.